mousesports. And we're getting into the action. The second game, the first best of 3 for Mouse since they've added Dexter, and now we're going to find out what they can really do.
We are. Interesting utility purchase here. We've got a couple of decoys for Gambit, so keep an eye on where those come through. Presumably fake flashes or potentially to sell a fake, although they're going so fast over towards B. This almost looked like it was going to be a rush for a moment, but they'll take them tunnels control. They're just going to set up on this side of the map, go very slow. I think maybe they were expecting a catwalk push or a little bit of longhouse aggression, which they would have been set up to deal with nicely. Instead, it's going to be pressure through mid, but Rops has gone looking in the tunnels, and he's caught a kill, and so you immediately see Gambit bail out of that. They wanted to threaten in mid, and they did get tons of damage onto Dexter, but they're going to head towards A instead, and the only player on this side of the map is Bemus. He's alone. He's out by the dumpster. He just wants to deal with Shiro late, but they're going to give up this plant. It's a retake setup for mousesports. They are not equipped to close this down just yet. And here comes the play. Bomb will be planted. No chance to deny. Mousesports will quickly be in position, though, but first they have to deal with Nafani. He's the first hurdle. Never mind, they've chosen to pressure into the longhouse. They don't expect a player here. They knew they had control of dumpster. They discounted the fact that this could be Shiro's spot, and he's got 2. He's looking for more, doing some damage, staying alive. Shiro might single-handedly be shutting this down for mousesports. So much damage done. Frozen and Rops. An incredible play by Shiro. So good, it makes my voice crack. And now Frozen will have to try and get his team back into this alongside Rops. They've gotten positioning back up towards the platform, but it's all on Frozen now. 1v2, he takes the first. Would actually be a 1v3 and an ace to boot. And he's brought it down to the last. Never mind, a 4K, but he's done it. He doesn't have time. He's bailed out. He's getting gone. He's been dropped. No time for Frozen. Such a heroic effort, but no pistol round win.
What a round. It looked like they were in a lot of trouble with that player over on long. I was thinking it was going to have to be pretty much BMAS, I believe, just getting that kill and hoping they could hold on to long for the retake. Then they have the players come in for the pincer on him. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no, there's nothing that can be done here by Shiro. Maybe he gets the 1 kill. No, he gets away with way too much in that, and that is what allows Gambit to get over the line here in the opening pistol. It is their map choice, and that's the round start that they would have been looking for, but it's not the start to this round that they would have hoped to have found, as Acor takes ahead with the scout early on. That is the start that you want. Of course, it is the full force buy, and we've got the double scout setup coming in. Rops was tagged, unfortunately, I believe, on the cross, but I guess positioned around the back of B if that's where he would like to take it. No, he's actually not. He's got it over on A now. I think being boosted up even on towards short. And check, we don't have our own POVs, unfortunately, but I do believe that's what's going on there with the radar. But yeah, it's all on pressure. Rather, the pressure right now is a little bit towards Gambit after losing that initial player. But they know they don't need to be too aggressive, considering the weapons that are in the hands of mousesports, especially trying to push out on your own or anything. You need to make sure you're working together here. Get caught off guard by one of the pistols up close. Suddenly an extra weapon's in the hands of Mouse, and then the 3-on-5 becomes incredibly difficult to recover from. So you can't make another mistake right now.
I like this setup towards long. It's always so tough to deal with the CZ tight up, especially if you then get focused on the deagle. The idea here is Bemus pops off a shot with the hand cannon. They focus in on him, and then as they come through, Dexter takes a kill. Ideally, Bemus gets a kill as well, and then they're well set up. Problem is now Hobbit has found the weak point. It was Cat. There's only one player there. He's taking the kill, and now the numbers are even. Costs Hobbit some health, but that's a worthy price to pay. Frozen set up by the double doors. Where is the scout? Back of sight, actually holding towards tunnels, but Frozen, he doesn't need a scope on his gun to collect ahead. The health is getting very low indeed, and now Nafani is dropped. The remaining 2 players are vulnerable to the pistols, and that's what we see come to fruition. Dexter gets a kill. Frozen, another 4 players survive, and mousesports dominate the force buy.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Just spirals out of control after losing that initial player. That CC running, kind of drive-by there on mid really put the nail on the coffin. Even at that point, both of the players were already relatively low on health. So yeah, it works out for Mouse. The force buy is going to give them the victory, and they get a couple of AKs even off the back of it. A Mac 10, I believe, was picked up for BMAS as well. So they're able to get all of the nades that they need behind these weapons without putting in too much of an investment. And hopefully with that, we'll be able to ensure that they don't fall to the same fate that Gambit just did. It's always scary though seeing a 5 deagle buy on Dust2, because you know the damage that can be done with them. Did they just nade themselves? No, that was from the CT side, sorry. I thought one of them tried to throw it out and it bounced back. That would have been embarrassing, but it was more embarrassing on my part for misunderstanding what happened. They're really just hoping BMAS will not be checked There is the player shoulder beacon on the corner, so yeah, that does take the initial attention. I was gonna say escaping could be tough, but there was only one more player there after getting a little bit of help from Dexter. And well, with that, they've also got themselves kind of the bomb controller. It's actually up on the boost position, I think, in on long.
It is.
It looks like it is.
It's like halfway in.
The radar, yeah.
You won't need to boost to get it. You'll just need to go for a little hop, I think. So it's retrievable. Problem is, Axel's the only player left alive, so retrievable may not much matter here. We're going to see some aggression up catwalk as Rops looks to hunt him down. I think they know he's here as well, so he's not long for this world. See if he can maybe find a kill. They might want to hunt with Bemis since he has the SMG, but he's also low on health, so no reason to risk it in this round. Play the clock out a bit. 40 seconds. They are going to continue to chase in, and there will be the kill. Rops doesn't miss those very often. Gets himself a Deagle upgrade. We've now got 4 players with Deagles, the P250, and they've continued to keep this buy going. This is a great way to start out a map for mousesports. They're just building economy, making money hand over fist, keeping these guns alive. There's no reason to ditch the MAC-10. You're going to be up against an Eco in this one, and A-Core is A-OK, chilling with the Scout. Frozen, 6 kills, 0 deaths, Dean. That's a nice number.
Yeah, a nice solid start, I suppose. Frozen, nice, solid. It's a bad joke, I know. But we're going to have a pretty early clash. It's only Glocks, but he's linked instantly, so yeah, they will eventually get the trade. 2 kills with the MAC-10, I would say that makes it worthwhile for Bemis as long as now his other teammates don't start going down and losing the actual weapons that have some value to them. Oh, I don't love Frozen sticking around. He will get that 1 kill and realize he was already pushing his luck at that point, and holding onto the bomb isn't really a necessity anymore either when you have the 4-on-1. So yeah, backs away, his teammates even pushing up through lower. They don't quite catch Inters before he makes his way out, but they do spot the head as he makes his way back up the ramp. Nice shot by Rops. A little bit of warm up there before they get into the real gun rounds as he pops some heads, and here we go, 3-1. Gambit though, coming out onto the guns. No up though. That is one thing that kind of sucks there because we know the impact that Shuro can have when he has it available.
That was another round where just easy setups, easy control, the aggression up. You lose the SMG, but you're absolutely right. It's totally worth it. You don't want to bring it to this round regardless. They're going to have the 1 scout, which is a bit of a limiting buy, but on Dust2, not even. And look at this aggression up mid. This is insane. Frozen is already all the way top. He wants to catch these players. They don't realize he's here. He gets 1. Hobbit was looking for it, but he wasn't quite looking deep enough. And now they have to deal with this flank. They want to take long, but can you really take long if you know you're going to be pressured immediately? Hobbit wants to deal with it. There's 2 players here. Is he going to expect that? And they're pushing out of the long tunnels as well. Rops is going to be all the way back into spawn. Hobbit's tucked in the corner. Rops doesn't realize this. He's thunderfooting his way through. Hobbit should have him. Rops thinks about clearing that, but he won't clear it properly, and now Hobbit's looking for more than 1. Playing the patient game, doesn't want to let him go too far before reeling him back in. Kill claimed, a little bit of security established for his teammates in towards long, and they're feeling a whole lot better about going for this take on towards A. If they even commit. Minute on the clock, they could back out. They're low on utility at this point, so I'd be surprised to see them not take it, but they're still concerned about a push-up mid, and so they seem to be bailing out here, Dean.
Yeah, well, they have a bit of time to work with. I mean, they don't really have a lot. So if the goal is to move back and try and get the short control or whatever, they are not going to be able to have much time to chillax about it. They would have to get immediately on the move. And as they lose Naffany Dirt to the scout at top mid, they're really just forced to go ahead and make that long commitment happen. Now just in a bit of a worse position than they were before. As you said, it was the worry of the flanks that had them slowing things down. But they weren't quite coming in. Not until now, anyway. There is a player pushed up through B, but I don't think he's going to get to do a lot, so it is going to have to be his teammates on the bomb site who hold on to things. Molly down on the ramp, that complicates the push up, and oh, a push straight through the smoke from A-Core. He gets all of them. He just rocks the P50. He doesn't give a damn. He had a scout on his back, right? Was that the ace? Was the 4K or the ace? 4K.
It was a 4K.
Right? He got the
4K
mid as well. That was insane. I'm kind of sad I didn't get to see that from his perspective, but the first one was ridiculous enough.
Oh, man. Oh, man. This is not looking good for Gambit. Look, it's so early days. It's not really that concerning in terms of round total, but you'll see they'll take the time out here, and that's as much to ice mousesports and relax their own nerves as it is to discuss anything tactical. Because the problem is, mousesports are feeling it. They're rocketing up mid. A-Core is getting multi-kills with P250s. It's just starting to get very concerning indeed. The way these numbers are shaping up, the way these individual rounds are shaping up as well. So take a chill pill, take the pause, settle it down, talk to your young players here, Hobbit, coach them back up, say, you know what, very early days, don't worry about any of this, and maybe give mousesports a second just to let the pulse drop a little bit, maybe go for some less aggressive plays. This round's not going to be the one to get it done, just pistols out here, Dean, but they do have a bit of utility, a couple flashes and a single smoke to maybe try and get a bomb plant going, maybe overwhelm and claim a rifle. It's a slim possibility, but it's not quite a 0% chance.
Yeah, Dust2 is one of those maps where it's just pretty difficult to get the bomb down on these rounds, unfortunately. Like, Train, you have one smoke, two flashes, awesome. You have a good plant, you have a good chance of getting that plant over on B, for example. But no, you have a lot more ground to cover normally between the choke points and actually getting onto the bomb site itself on Dust2 here. Or else it's just such a difficult choke point like Dust2 where you're going through the tunnels, you don't have the ability to swarm out upper and lower at the same time. So you're just going to all concentrate in one spot. But we'll see if they find any success. It's actually a drop into the spawn. Doesn't go too well initially as the molly actually stopped the backup from coming through to assist, so there was absolutely no help for those players. But Axel has gotten one more frag, and okay, there we go. Hobbit's actually walked out B in the meantime. Oh, can they get the bomb back? Surely not. No, Axel's got another kill. It's only a 2-on-2. The health is not great, but they shouldn't be in this position either way, so they could shock me by still managing to make this work. Oh, and they're going back. Are they? No. They're just going to leave one back behind to hold off and hope Axel can get that bomb down. He needs cover, though. He's not going to get this down on his own.
Yeah, I can't believe Hobbit's left him on his lonesome to hold tunnels. He made a judgment call that they were going to come through tons instead. He's going to try and plant. There's the swing. East drop. Now the round's out of hand. Hobbit, I don't think this is recoverable here. Never mind. He's going to get a kill. He's down low on health. Doesn't have the armor, but Hobbit has done so much damage to this point. Does he want to face this? 5 seconds. Time is everything. He has to swing. The shadow gives him away. It betrays him. And Bemis, by staying stationary, makes it happen. Even retrieves the op for his team. That one was way too close. I thought even when the bomb was in transition in the hands of Exile, that Rops was going to catch him in towards mid. But no, we didn't see that kill, but somehow that kill comes through from Catwalk with the deagle. And at that point, it's such a tough spot because you got the bomb making its way over. I think there was a gamble from Hobbit that they'd come chasing through tunnels and they'd be able to catch a player there and isolate a fight. And if they hadn't made that gamble, perhaps it could have paid off. Still, it gets way too close. Let's see if mousesports can get it a little more stable here. Oh, there's a player already up on Catwalk. 2 kills come through rapidly. Now, 2 bodies dropped. Acor and Rops out of play. Mousesports on the back foot, but Bemis wants to bring it back. Yob's coming looking, can't face on that. Molly will give him a bit of space here, Dean. A little room to breathe, and he does have long held, so he can at least feel comfortable about that position. But mid's wide open. Frozen is coming back to support it. Does Frozen not have a gun? He goes to retrieve the op. Okay, he dropped his rifle so that he could get the op without making noise. It's a risky play. If they came running through, he'd be USP trying to defend, but it's a play that pays off. Now he's got the big green. He's got some control, and he can hold mid for his team. And actually, okay, Dean, they've given up sight. They've given up long. They're going to play in towards mid. Control this, and if it winds up being an A hit, hope they can get a kill and set up for the retake.
Ooh,
this is so
Dexter's
bold.
actually going to push in, yeah. He could unfortunately get caught by that lower player, but does he manage to get this player who's coming back on short? No, he's gone back around again. Okay, but now it's the lower flank. Does he make it around the long before it comes in? I don't know. This is so stressful. The player in lower has stopped, so he's made it around as well. This is going to be a tough hold. Nafany is creeping forward on towards the bomb site now. The player who was initially here to hold has dropped down into the spawn, I believe, so they're actually just going to very likely be looking at the retake setup, which, unless that long player finds early success, I was going to say is going to be tough with that up, but they do make it work. Dexter, at least, is able to catch Nafany. In the meantime, though, Axel, he snatches one back towards Bemis. They have that long control short to work with for the retake, but how does Frozen make his way over? He's actually going to get caught from lower now, so at this point, it's just pretty much a save, I was going to say, for Dexter, but he was already pushed up too far to even have that opportunity. Gambit. Great work. They are able to get their second round onto the board. Obviously, that was their first since winning the pistol and then dropping to the force buy afterwards. But are they going to be able to replicate that? The reason we seen that goes so well, especially in the early moments, was that aggression from mousesports just being caught. They'll probably learn a little bit from that lesson, and they've even gone for a double up setup now.
Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, presumably a much more passive style with the 2 ops. 4 players towards A initially, just Rops all in his lonesome at B. So no, they're trying something. They're trying something weird, and it does feel like a fast, long play. So there it is. Now Nafany is burning. Now he's dead. They're dropping players one after another, and there's multiple players here to hold, so this long fight has not gone the way of Gambit. They take 2 casualties. They don't have anyone in position to capitalize on the empty space that mousesports has left, and now they're just trying to reclaim. Shiro is getting bowled in mid with the op, and admittedly no one's here, so he might be able to catch this, but there's no way for him to know that, so he can't feel comfortable about it. He'll throw a cross smoke. They're gonna try and split onto B? With an op going solo mid? It works! Shiro catches the kill. Hobbit a second as Rops unscopes at the worst possible time. This bomb is headed into the site. How on earth has this worked? The god of timing has smiled upon Gambit this day, and the bomb will be planted, and I don't even know if mousesports is going to go for this retake. They've got some utility. It's viable, but it's tricky. They've got to bleed some time just getting towards. It seems like they want to try it. Problem is they don't know what's going on mid. They don't know what's going on in tunnels, so they're just going straight forward all the way through. Shiro is the guardian of the site in the back, tucked away, watching tunnels for now, and his 2 teammates have to deal with the mid presence. There's no position to do so. Hobbit takes the first. He's instantly traded, but that's still good because he gives the information over to his team. And that off barrel betrays another, but A-Core doesn't care. The trade is there, but the health is low, and one more peek is enough for Frozen. What a madcap round, Dean, but it's a 6th on the board for mousesports. No, there is time!
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. That's what I said. Oh, I was so close. If he had got the finish with that initial spray, I was literally on the edge of my seat. Like, is he going to have this now? Is that what's cost him? He thought he got the finish initially. To be fair, I think part of the reason that he stepped back into cover was because he thought at that point the op shot was going to be rang off, because he had given a couple of moments for the op, whatever it's called, to be cocked back. I'm too hyped after that. But yeah, there's no time, unfortunately, so Gambit get the 2 rounds in a row. Oh, that comes down to the wire. It's a tough position as well, because that retake looks like it's going so well, but also initially, if they had have saved, they would have been able to drop over the 2 weapons to pull out another full buy. But when it gets that close, you can't blame them for having gone for it. But no, yeah, Gambit, they're 3rd round, and very likely a 4th off the back of it, Mike.
That's incredible. I'm surprised. It was a 5-on-3 at one point, right? And they get 2 quick kills. And what? The multi-boost on Catwalk collects one in towards Dark. So many players focused in there. And now the hand cannons are here. Here's the swing from Bemis. He gets one. There's a follow-up. The bodies are hitting the floor. Oh, it's not looking good for Gambit at all. Just Shiro out towards long. He knows what he has to hunt back in. It's a USP on one player, and the molly should mean that Dexter dies here. He's going to go for the peek, but Shiro had discounted it. Flicks back. What is this madness these last 2 rounds? Shiro looking to bring back the clutch. He just needs to find a low HP Rops. Rops doesn't have armor. The pistol will make a difference with that. But Rops is repositioning out towards Catwalk. But with 50 seconds back on the clock, Shiro does not have to do this at all. He can just leave. And leave? Well, that seems to be the choice he's making, Dean. He's going to back through the longhouse. Give us a much-needed breath of air here. Because these last 2 rounds, I've driven most of it from my lungs. And he's going to take it all the way to B. This is absolutely the right call, the right read. 25 seconds, should have time, Dean, and he's going to be able to get this bomb down.
Yeah, and then suddenly with that up, the after plant becomes so much more viable. And honestly, it may even be a position where if Rops doesn't get over there quickly, I was going to say he could even potentially just save the AK, but yeah, Shiro just re-peeks back in. He dropped the smoke. As soon as the smoke goes down, I guess Rops thinks, okay, he's probably just going to be planting now, surely. And that wasn't the case. He peeks out the door, catches the kill preemptively, and puts a stop to it. Just saves a few seconds, really. That's all he done, Mike. He just wanted to get into the next round and see if Gambit could keep their performance going now. But a good recovery from Shiro. That got way too dangerous considering what they were up against. What was it, 2 Deagles even, I think, alongside the other pistols? Yeah, no, they can't afford to be sustaining that damage, otherwise mousesports are going to punish them as soon as they win a gun round.
I'm loving this, though. These last few rounds, we're getting tickets to the circus, along with the CS tournament. Getting wild. Just the calculated aggression from mousesports is continually catching Gambit off guard. And it's funny because this is a team that we know on their CT side love to get antsy, love to get aggressive. Rops just in the sight, takes a peek out towards mid. He catches one. Dexter's here, and he withdraws back into the smoke. Axel can't chase. Thinks he's gone back towards spawn, but as he spaces, he'll find Dexter right in front of him. Frozen's got another in the meantime, but Frozen's still alive on site. He needs to do more. It's a 3v2, but if he goes down with no ability, it would be tough. Never mind. Frozen up to the task, gets a second, and it's all left to Axel, who's isolated in mid. And he will catch a kill with a Molotov, actually, as he dies. So damage done to mousesports, but no round win. And as you said, the economy was fragile after dropping so many guns to the pistols. So a timeout is called for. A timeout is needed here for Gambit as they figure out which direction they want to take this, what they want to do, and how the heck they're going to deal with mousesports right now.
Yeah, here on the T side of Dust2 as well. You want to be coming out with a few more at least than what Gambit have right now. So they do know that they need to try and grind out at least a couple more in order to have a decent enough position. So now is a pretty good time to call in that pause. The only thing is they aren't going straight onto the buy. It is one eco. Most likely, I think it was a scout just bought up there with a little bit of the extra cash that they had available. Perhaps they'll try and get Shiro to catch a pick on the mid cross. Maybe then they could be given a chance to rush over towards being at a bomb plant, or else they're just going to split up and see if he can do some damage to give those pistols a much better opportunity then, of course, to take down those low health players. If he connects a couple of shots, that is. They can be a good combo, like we see the scouts and the deagles coming in normally in those second round force buys. But overall, you can see a relatively safe investment from Mouse as well. They've got rifles across the board, decent nades, and this should be a round that they don't struggle too much in.
Yeah, the only potential threat is that
we haven't noted too much. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say something we haven't noted too much since it started is that this is Gambit's map pick. We do need to remember that.
Yes, it certainly is. They should be comfortable on it, and we did call into doubt why it was Gambit's map pick a bit. There's a run boost. Acor actually tries to flip for it. Not going to hit it, and he's pushed off. That's a bomb plant. Bomb plant secured for Gambit. That's huge, and not a couple of kills. Okay, they try and get a bit more bold off it. They all die immediately. Dealt with. Rops kills everybody. 4K, just tapping away with a FAMAS, making sure they're not going to do anything too bold. Gambit giving the opportunities, and he knocks down the bins. But still, a bomb plant out of that round is not bad for Gambit. They managed to chase Acor off. They managed to bring the pressure with that run boost to offset his expectations, even without utility to work with. And they get some money out of it. So now this buy looks very good indeed. Lots of utility, full guns, the AWP for Shiro. I think the sparks are going to fly once more here, Dean.
Yeah, we were mentioning that he obviously was lacking that a couple of gun rounds back, so maybe it is the difference maker. He was also up against a double up setup the previous time that he was able to pull it out. This time they don't have that secondary one in play, unfortunately. It is just Acor over on the side of Mouse. But early on, Gambit, they're not really finding the same level of aggression coming in from Mouse. We've seen them, I think, once maybe attempt that early short control, and obviously that was when they found those two picks on the players who had pushed up. This time, pretty much giving it for free. We are going to see, even then, a little bit of a stack over towards the A side of the map. They've entrusted Frozen towards B on his own for now, and, well, they're going to leave Rops up close on the door in a position where he may be able to get that info fairly early if a short execute starts to come in. And yeah, he will have heard that being thrown. Of course, they didn't really need it, considering Dexter is right below. His molly is actually going to complicate the push quite a bit as well, holding two of those players back. And, well, given quite a bit of extra room to Acor especially, who's pinned in right now. But he's been alive a lot longer than he should have been. No frags as of yet. It's only now that the first blood comes through from Nafany, and he even doubles down. Dexter's gone, and at this point, their Mouse maybe even considering the save.
There's a lot of damage done, but I'm not actually sure how much of this is confirmed damage. That's a big kill, though, for BMS. That takes care of the flank. Now they would feel a lot more comfortable coming in. The problem is they don't have Cat present, so you need Rops to do that. Rops hasn't really moved a muscle from the mid doors in a long time. I don't think he's moved a muscle from the mid doors in this round. Now getting a little bit concerned that he's disconnected, but I don't think so. Watch for that blue dot to move. They are going to save here. They're not dealing with it. They're going to keep their guns up and buy into the next. No, Robs is moving. All right, we're good. We're good. The X-ray just shifted. Just makes me nervous when a player spent a whole round in one position, even as a hit comes through. Down to the bomb here. No, Inter survives with 1 point of health. That's a man who knows his distances, Dean.
Yeah, just about managing to hang on. They are going to be dropping over what they can to ensure the up comes out again. Yeah, I mean, it can be a little bit risky because sometimes the bomb is planted slightly closer, slightly further maybe than you'd expect, but he does manage to hang on. Rups dropped the up, I believe. So yeah, they manage a really good buy anyway coming into this round. Gambit, though, up on 5 now. Get one more. 6 is okay. I wouldn't say it's a great T-side by any means. The map maybe even leans a little bit over towards the T-side, so it wouldn't be the best of results. But we do know Gambit are capable of putting up really strong CT sides of their own. And Dust2 is a map, as we said, that can really just differ on the day depending on the form of the teams. And I mean, is always just a risky pick, as we pointed out when Gambit came in with the choice of Dust2. We were a little bit bewildered by it. Not what we were expecting. We were thinking maybe a Vertigo or Train even to come out, partly because of the fact that Dexter is that new addition. We thought maybe they'd try and avoid the more puggy maps, but I think Mouse so far are pretty happy with the fact that Dust2 was brought out. They are liking this.
We've seen the aggression calm down a little bit these last few rounds, but they're still going for some unorthodox setups. We've got Rops right up by the doors, 2 players backed by Goose. Now they're going to drop the utility. Acor trying to reposition by the car, but it's a little bit too late. And there's a player who's worked his way through the drop down into spawn. That means the pressure is now majorly on for Rops. Does he want to come back to clear this? Has to be careful because they could be coming through those mid doors at any moment. Dexter, an opening pick. That takes some of the pressure off of Rops, and now I think he's going to try and work his way into the clear. But do they not even realize the player's here? No, Acor's holding for it. He has to realize. Now he's spotted Nafani's gun barrel. It makes sense as well. He's gotten a kill. They brought this back in the numbers. Dexter's been cleaned up, but there's Rops coming through, dropping the bomb to boot. Provided he can keep his Opera alive now, this is a strong position for them to hold. And Acor, big pick, should shut down this round. All into Axile. A 1v3, no control of the bomb, 15 seconds, and a single Molotov. He's done. He's dusted, and Rops will put him out of his misery.
Yeah, in the 1-on-3 at that point, he was screwed. There wasn't really anything that he could do about it. The money's there again for a buy, it seems. Nafani didn't really have too much. He actually dropped over the op, was it? Yeah, I was a little bit confused about why he had so little money and no weapon to his name. He does get the rifle, thankfully, in return. So it's going to be another good buy from Gambit, but mousesports aren't really letting any sort of momentum go the way of Gambit. We had, I think, a couple of gun rounds in a row, but other than that, these rounds have been mostly isolated for them, and that's just allowing Mouse to build themselves up a very strong CT side here overall. 8 already is a pretty decent scoreline. Bring it up to 9, it gives you that little bit of comfort in case the pistol doesn't go your way, and yeah, they're getting towards that territory right now. Nafani, though, straight down lower tunnels. I thought he was going to try and probe out mid there, but does decide against it for the moment. Instead, they're going to boost up on towards short. Use that box to make their way in, get some control, and, well, open up a few options. If they wanted, they could go straight towards A up short. We're actually seeing a long house aggression coming in, and they had sent Acor in, I believe that is, to help them out with getting the control initially. So they're only moving back to A now. And, well, will be caught slightly out of position, potentially, as that push comes in. But Dexter, no. He steps up, lost his teammate, realized he needed a 2-for-1 deal. And, well, he's going to do even better than that. Maybe a fourth to come his way. It is not, but he delayed for such a massive amount of time. Yeah, he held on fantastically there. Just staying alive on top of those kills, lets Frozen get in, and then suddenly there's 2 opponents for them to worry about as they're popping up and down. And at that point, you get really flustered trying to come up through short.
Let's just give Dexter his just due here. What a stud right now. This is the man who just came in, switched continents. He's building a new life, left his fictional children behind in Australia. He's calling for the team. He's figuring things out on the fly, and he's dropping 13 kills in the server right now.
Wasn't that why he wasn't getting a team for a while? Some people thought he actually had kids.
Did they? I thought that was a meme.
Yeah, I remember some people rumoring it a little bit, like joking about it on podcasts and stuff. But I'd say that could have been. Maybe if someone thought you had kids, you might not want to travel and stuff. I don't know.
No. I think that's a running joke from the Renegades guys that he's actually got a secret family of children that he's left behind to
oh yeah, I know, but I think some people didn't know it was a joke.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, good trade. Oh. That was actually only the one player who was coming in through the spawn. So suddenly the B side gets a lot more pressure on those 2 that are defending. What the hell, Inters? He takes out both of them on B. We didn't get to catch it, unfortunately, but it is going to be Gambit who catch themselves control of the B bomb site and can perhaps actually salvage together a 6th round.
Except at the last round.
Wait, well, I can't be at this point. Yeah, Mike. No, unfortunately not. Mike, check. You okay?
It doesn't work out. I've lost count. I've lost track of time. Time is meaningless.
We're okay.
So now, yeah, they've got to go for it, but it's a tough situation.
It was a quick round.
They're going to try. Hobbit, he's popping in. He's got the flank, and that's just a beautiful shot to put him down and end the half. So they get to 6 rounds, team. It's not what I would call a great half, but it's salvageable. We're going to take a quick break here, folks. We'll be back with the second half in a flash. Don't go anywhere.
Don't look down, we made it. Feet far off the pavement. devastated. Pressure feels amazing.
Under peach yellow skies, dreaming big and aiming high. Name the clouds passing by, wishing we run away. All we need is our passports, baby. Leave the rest in our troubled minds. Let us go down in laughter, baby. Trying to figure out what we're after. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after. Book a plane, fly away. We will never be the same. And as long as you are mine, come on and run away. We wanna run away. We don't need any reasons, baby. Leave it all for the faded hearts. I don't mind if they call us crazy, 'cause they don't understand what we're after. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer. Under peach yellow skies, we keep on searching, but we will never know what we're after. We're no kids no more. I need to feel alive in this dreadful town. I'm running out of time, and as long as you're mine, I wanna run away. We're never heading back until we're older. We couldn't care no more, not any longer.
And we're back here with the second half between mousesports and Gambit. The first map in the series here on Dust2. Gambit's map pick, and they are down 3 at the half. What are they going to do to get back into it? Mousesports bringing a lot of utility into this first pistol round, Dean. Where do we think they're going? B, it looks like.
Well, I was going to say it's looking like tunnels because they've all headed in that direction, but they did leave Rops actually trying to fight down mid, and he was punished. Nafany hits a nice little headshot. I would imagine he had that P250 there trying to spam down a little bit, so maybe that'll be recovered by Acor, I believe, who's heading back into the spawn. Indeed, it will. So they've still got that longer ranged capability. But so did Gambit with the USBs, of course, and they have a man advantage to their name as well. Very early on, a smoke down on Beto, that is going to indicate that the hit is likely coming in this direction. Quick rotations are able to come through as well to give the assistance, as 3 players pretty much are going to be here as the push comes through. Oh, but Instant Thinks enters. He knows what it's like now to lose B quickly. He was the one who had opened it up in that previous round. And, well, it's actually been traded out into the 3-on-3. They do, unfortunately, have to worry about the flank, which is notified it was coming in from behind, I believe. But they will get the bomb down, and now in a 3-on-3. Let's see if they can hold this off.
Here comes the hit. Shiro takes 1, Shiro takes 2. Tapping away with the USP and shooing him down. Now he knows where Acor is exactly. That means Hobbit can get out. And suddenly, the shoe's on the other foot. They've got control of the bomb. Hobbit can hold for the push. Shiro's actually not even going to commit into it just yet. They know he's there, and Hobbit will take the kill. The defuse can be had, and Gambit takes the pistol. Huge play from Nafany to get 2 kills as they came in towards the site. And then Shiro coming back in the window just dismantles mousesports. Now they've got a chance to get started on the right foot here. But Dean, they lost the force buy in the last. Can't be doing that again.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Gambit actually, they could, if they manage to actually somehow do that and lose this one as well, then they could be on the receiving end of something they dished out earlier on, which was obviously in their previous match up against Team 1. They lost both of the pistol rounds and still managed to win a 16-5. So maybe Mouse could be doing that, but at the moment anyway, Gambit, they should be favored in this round. Pretty strong buy as well. They do focus mostly towards rifles, even if a couple are from masses, just to ensure that they do have a few nades as well to hold off. And we're not actually seeing the full force buy coming in from Mouse either, so I'd expect maybe a couple of kills can be found. They do obviously have the Deagles and the Scout, but it should be Gambit's round to bring them up towards 8, and then it's the next gun round. It's that first gun round of the half that really lets us know if Gambit are going to be here to fight or not, because if they find that, then suddenly they're propelled into the lead here early on the CG side.
On they go, taking a lot of control on towards Kawak. They've been given a ton of space. It's going to be Shiro who's responsible for holding them off when they do come through, and he does have the Scout. To be fair, it's a decent gun for this angle, but trickier than the AWP. 2 tags, not really what you're hoping for. Headshot or bust. He's going to get the first tag. Utility's over. Molly to slow them down on their approach to site, and they don't have a smoke for this, so they'll have to wait. In the meantime, players get in a position. The nade doesn't connect, fortunately, for the mousesports side, and now they've got the room to rumble. This bomb should be planted at this point. They still got control of Catwalk as well. Shiro does want to collect some bodies, but this is going to be a tough retake for Gambit. Hobbit connects an aid. That's nice. They've got one more in the hands of Inters as well, so they can lob that in towards the site, maybe collect Frozen. But Beamus, he's bringing back the punishment. Picks up his teammate's Scout, connects with a head. They're still expecting a player in towards mid, but meanwhile, the action's going down on the plat. And it's now a 2v3. Eagle players without armor to hold on. And while Rops will take one, he's not in position to deny this. They can just stick it. 10 seconds. Can he get there in time? No, I don't believe so. And he will be caught by Nafani. Round over. Defuse done. Gambit do survive the force buy. Gets a bit risky. Damage done. Bomb planted. It's a good round altogether from mousesports. And now they're going to be able to invest fully into the rifles.
Yeah, I was not expecting that much success to come true from mousesports. As you said, the bomb plant, that's a nice little boost to their economy here. It gives them back everything they spent, basically. And a few kills on top of it, leaving Gambit in a weak position if mousesports are to win this round. So they may be able to capitalize on that damage. Acor, importantly, he's got the op, which Shiro does not. He's going to be stuck on towards the Scout in the opening round, and, well, he still wants to fight with it. Unfortunately, gets punished. Wall banged down as he gets spotted, and, yeah, with that, is going to give up trying to actually fight around on mid. It was looking like we could have potentially seen a quicker B play there. I guess that was relying on whether the op was able to pick up a kill on the cross or not. If they had have found the frag, maybe they would have went in and tried to catch maybe the one player who's left on that side of the map off guard. But without success like that, with only damage coming through, which they probably aren't even aware of, they are just going to try and split out towards the default, working towards short, and then make their play based on that.
I like the commitment of the Molotov to the Nook by door. You're going to see that dropped quite a bit, I would guess, based on how much we saw Rops play that position. mousesports are certainly aware of it. They never want to get caught off guard by it. Acor catches a kill straight down mid, and that opens up the slaughter here. And it's going to bisect the defense as well, as Hobbit's going to flow back to fill the space to try and take that control. It means that Shiro's relatively alone here over towards the A ramp. He's already down on health. A nade landing on his head would do him in. Fortunately for him, there are none available. Does have support out towards long in the form of Exile as well, but for now he's on an island. And they're trying to join him on that island. They're trying to swim to shore. Here comes the hops. Here comes the drops. Can he hit this shot? Yes, he can. It's just a body shot. There's the connection. Exile down. Now he is truly alone, and he will not be able to escape. Bomb going down. Site controlled with 5 alive. Dexter. Well, actually, it's Rocks here in towards mid, continuing to collect bodies. Now, Fani low. He does have a gun, but he's being chased. Frozen in towards mid, and he's up on the Xbox. We know where he's at. We know he's dropped down. Certainly, there's no way he gets away from this. He's fled into the tunnels. He's made it so far. Getting some ground, getting some real estate, and looking to kill any would-be pursuers. They will be pursuing. So let's see if he can catch Dexter. Or he is, in fact, going to be caught himself. There comes the kill. He is taken out of the server, his gun taken away, and mousesports find their first round of the second half.
And, well, thanks to the damage in that previous round when Mouse were just on a few deagles and a scout, you can see Gambit now have their economy completely ruined. You don't love to see it. A scout, 4 deagles. It's similar to what Mouse had when they were taking the eco and just spending the extra money. But, of course, Gambit, they do have Kevlar, few nades as well behind it. the issue is, if they don't win this one, then Gambit up to 11, then they'll be getting a 12th off the back of, rather, Mouse would be up to 11, then a 12th off the back of it even, because Gambit would have to take the eco. So there is a lot relying on this force buy. It's not as kind of stress-free as the one for Mouse was, where they were just trying to get a bomb plant and do a bit of damage. There is a need for them to try and come out on top of this. Early on, though, mousesports able to take long control. Makes sense. When you know you have the better weapons, long control is normally the way to go. The only scary thing is initially trying to get out, of course, maybe being caught by someone up close, but they've got that early control, and the op is able to just pretty much have free reign. Nafany actually wanted to push in late. Interesting choice, especially on his own.
There's still a threat with the hand cannons on towards the platform, but you're right, it gets so much easier now that you have that long control. Peering over, put Acor in position, just let him pluck targets off of the site itself. Well, they're not going to give him the satisfaction, they're not giving him the peak, but they are giving him the stack. All 4 players are towards this side of the map, and with 55 seconds, if mousesports realizes how much presence is here, they can just leave. They can just go towards B. They still have a lurker that direction, it's Ropt. He's just chilling, having a good time, but it does seem like they want to commit to this A hit, and that might be a bit of a folly. Without information elsewhere, Ropt's now clearing back in towards the dark tunnel. Taking some space, moving through lower. They'll be coming up on Catwalk, could maybe get the backstab in here as they inch forward, but they need him to do so. They're not looking. They're not looking for this backstab at all. They think they're all committed out towards long, and while they're not exactly wrong, not 100% right either. Bemis, that's the opening pick. He's looking for more. This is starting to fall apart here for Gambit. Despite the stack, they're losing bodies at too fast a rate to hang on. They know Shiro's up on Catwalk with the scout. Player's going to come through this cross smoke. Hobbit has some space, but he's dealt with, and that's the round over. Wrapped up with a little bow and put into the back pocket of mousesports.
Yeah, with a second gift, I guess, in their other pocket of this round here, because there's not really going to be any investment for Gambit. Sitting, well, just about 2,000 on everyone. I'm even surprised we're seeing the smoke come out there for Nafany, because their economy is not looking too great going into the next round. Up to the 2,400 now, I believe. Haven't lost 2 rounds in a row, so it's a bit of a rough spot to be in. Not even a single upgraded pistol, so it's just the one smoke. Okay, yeah, that's to, of course, restrict the info. Now they're unaware, mousesports rather, are unaware if anyone has crossed or if they're stacking over towards A or B. They are going to take the gamble, though, of just walking out towards B, but you can see how cautious Rops is being as he moves forward here. Didn't want to get caught by those pistols, didn't want to walk into a crossfire and maybe gift the weapon away. And I guess if he did, at least they did have those players up close, ready for the refrags. But yeah, they've realized at this point, B is completely open. The bomb's going to go down. As soon as that goes down, Gambit realize, unfortunately, their stack has not worked out as they intended. But as their name implies, it is a gamble that you take, and it's worth it, because they didn't really have anything into the round. If they just spread out like a normal round, they really wouldn't have got much done. And maybe they can still get a couple of exits if they set up. Oh yeah, they're going to just charge to the spawn. Bemis will get instantly taken. Does get some assistance from mid, and while they do manage to ensure that the players won't get out of the spawn, they unfortunately weren't able to keep Bemis alive. So just the one weapon going down. Not a huge deal, though. mousesports have pretty decent money.
Yeah, they got plenty of cash. Ross is like, thank you, Bemis, for dying. I will take those tasty ecos. Up to 19 kills now with that 4K coming through. USP players dropped. Perhaps most impressive in the server right now is Frozen's only died 7 times. We're 20 rounds in. That's a tricky feat to pull off. Only 7 deaths on Dust2 as well. Not really a map where there's obvious safe positions. They're going to be taken through. Rops is leading the charge. He wants to chase down this kill, and there are 3 players positioned around the car and long. This is a very strong setup for Gambit, but as I say that, they withdraw. They move back towards the plat. They don't have the opping presence. They do have an AUG, which is like a really disappointing consolation prize for an opper. But
it's like close enough. It has a scope.
Yeah. You know, oppers need training rails. It's like the rails at the bowling alley that prevent your ball from going into the gutter. Oh. Shiro's gonna get a kill, so whatever it is, they're working for him. Now comes the peek from Axile, but he gets deleted. Blinder, no Acor will catch that, and so will he get the subsequent kill. Bemis chiming in for one as well. This round is over. Bomb planted. Round 13 on the board for mousesports.
Yeah, after what was initially looking like it was going to be a little bit of an awkward execute in, Rops actually went in towards the spawn, I guess, to try and catch those mid players rotating, hoping they wouldn't expect him to go so aggressive, but he got caught. The only thing was then, the players were a little bit more focused on that spawn area, unsure if the second player was going to try and push through as well, but it was, of course, not the plan. Mousesports able to take themselves a 13th round. And, well, yeah, now Gambit, even with these 2 weapons saved over, how's the buy going to be looking here in this next round? I don't know if they can quite afford to pull it out. At best, they'd be able to drop 2, but no, only 2,900. I was unable to see the actual loss bonus they were sitting on, so it's not enough. Maybe a few pistols come out around this, but very likely we're looking at a 14-8 for Mousesports, and then Gambit have to be pretty much flawless for the remainder of that CT side if they want to be getting the win in regulation. At most, drop 1 round, then play for an overtime. Again, we mentioned it earlier, it's worth noting, this is Gambit's map pick. Inferno is going to be coming up next, which is, in this case, the home territory of Mouse.
And one of the maps that we've seen from them before, where we know they're set up to play it, we know. And honestly, if you just look at the way they're playing, you have to imagine the mentality is really good in the team right now. And you can understand why. This team's known they were a dead team since, when did the rumor first come out? The end of October? That Kerrigan wasn't going to re-sign with the organization. They've known they were a dead roster walking for a long time now, and that has to drain on the mentality. Now they've got a new player. They've got a new guy calling in the server. They've got a new accent of the guy calling. You know, just freshen up all the different things. Break it up. You have to be feeling
a nice
good.
cheerful Australian one.
And yeah, exactly. And now you're dominating in your opponent's map pick. Momentum is there. 4 rounds in a row at this point. They're looking for a 5th, and it's a limited buy to prevent them from doing so. Hobbit is here. He's got Nafani, but Nafani just has a USP. Hobbit might just be good enough. He's lost his teammate. He's got another kill. Looking for the 3rd. That can't be found. But he may have given his team a chance. See what Shiro can do just with the hand cannon, no armor. The Deagle alone. And Inters is going to go through with the M4. Wants to go through. Play off of his teammate here. Pimas has the lineup. He doesn't know it. If only the X-ray could be seen. Nice nade.
Moved.
But
it looked like Inters was going to be the one in trouble, though. Yeah. He moved just in time to actually avoid that nade. So yeah, he's still got the M4. He can certainly do some damage here. Shiro on the Deagle, we know what he's always capable of. But for the moment, they're waiting for Mouse to make the first move. And, well, the first move is to start planting that bomb as they put a molly down. And with the sound indicator, we actually see BMAS get the spam, but the Tracers give him away. Inters is able to come back with 1, and now to 2-on-2. I mean, it is doable. If they had have moved quickly, Rops would have actually been on his own here on the bomb site, but he's being given time now for Frozen to come back in through the tunnels, and with that, he can just watch the window crawl in. The player focused on the door, and, well, if they manage to get past Frozen, apparently Rops is just going to do it on his own.
Another 4K. Frozen was contributing to those kills. He was dropping damage and distracting as well, but it's the 4K for Rops that comes away from that. So now that's 2 rounds with back-to-back 4Ks, I believe. For Rops, he's really starting to increase those numbers, really pumping those numbers up, making some substantial money as well. And now the team is just right on the precipice of victory. 1 more tough round to deal with this round. Gambit, they're fully equipped. This might be last chance saloon on their own map pick before we head down this series. They've got the op, they've got the util, they've got positioning out towards long, and they haven't been tested, and Shiro's got the opening kill. There we go. The op has immediate impact. Cat's been taken, but Mousesports, that's all they've got to show for it right now. They've done no damage. They don't have a lot of information, and they're down a Bemis.
I hate when I'm down a Bemis. It's never fun. Yeah, a tough player to lose early on as well. To note on Rops, I do believe he was the one topping the scoreboard in their matchup against Renegades as well, so it is good to see Rops is on form today. They're going to need it right now, as you mentioned, being down a player in this round. If they want to try and put a quick end to this one before Gambit can really have any chance to get their feet on the ground, then this is where they want to do it. Yeah, that nade, though, doing some nasty damage for Hobbit. It is unfortunately a boost coming in. I was going to say he might be caught by it, but no, he ends up spamming in and finding Dexter. As unfortunately, the up shot was initially missed by Acor. He will eventually get the trade, but it's as bodies fall all around him as he suddenly left alongside only Frozen, who isn't even in the general area to give him assistance right now. He's actually holding off rotations, which does work out for 1 kill. Himself, though, not looking too healthy with just 53, so it is going to be a difficult afterplant now as the bomb goes down. And yeah, I mean, it gets only more difficult as Frozen's left alone. He may catch this first player, though. Didn't quite spot the player creeping up out of spawn, unfortunately. By the time he did, it was a bit too late, and he's only able to get the one towards Axile before Shiro's there for the trade. And I think even if Shiro missed that op shot there, Nafani was literally just coming up the ramp, and it very likely would have been a free trade, of course, with Frozen being out in the open. So yeah, 14-9. Gambit, they do manage to add another round to the scoreboard, but there's still quite a ways to go before we really start believing that the comeback is on.
And that last kill is so impactful because only 2 players survive. They can save the double op, which is important. Don't need to be rebuying one of those very expensive rifles when your economy is so limited. But you can see the effect. They've got nothing in the bank, really. Inters and Axile, 1,500 and 1,000 apiece. But past that, it's flat broke. Everything invested into this round do or very likely die. And there's still 5 rounds back. Still, that round started with an opening pick, and this time it's going to be Nafani. Shiro had it last time, and now the secondary op takes a kill. Mid turning into a bit of a graveyard here for mousesports, and Acor bites the dust. They've got long control. They've got 2 players in B site. They've got a presence in mid. They're watching passively towards Catwalk. This is a very good setup. It seems like mousesports was thinking about the fast play out and towards Ton, spots the offer in the back, and the utility comes in to deny that possibility. So Mouse is left reeling, trying to find a way in, trying to find a gap that they can exploit, and they might be coming to test Hobbit here in mid.
Yeah, if he was tested, he would have a tough time with only a single flash to hold off. Thankfully, that doesn't actually seem to be the plan. Instead, it's only Rops who's going to move in towards mid and see if he can keep these players in position. As we can see, a full short push is going to be the main goal. It's not working out too well, though. Shiro catches one while they were distracted then by the Opera. Axile was able to pop back up for another, but as they get the 2 kills on mid, as Rops opens things up, suddenly they have a different option. They're going to bring it back towards B. And, well, there's only 1 player here to defend. It is going to be all on the Inters there to try and hold on. Needs at least 1 kill. Oh, never mind. Shiro's got that first kill for him. So, yeah, I mean... Oh, okay, doesn't even get the 1 kill. Thankfully, it was Shiro who found at least 1 frag. BMS is left low, at least. So an easy trade. They even catch him before he can really get the weapon back into his hands. And, yeah, Gambit up to 10. They found double digits at least. But it is a close round. They got a bit dodgy there with Rops finding those openings on mid.
That's nicely done. The double op can be retrieved again. Gambit had time to go back and get that gun. And for mousesports, they're continuing to do this. They're continuing to get plants. They're continuing to do a lot of damage. They're not letting Gambit get comfortable in the slightest, but they're not able to take through the rounds. The difference maker in some of these could just be that opening pick that's gone Gambit's way a few times. But if they can keep doing it, who cares? They'll win the rounds by a thread, provided that allows them to bring it back to a tight scoreline. More pressure coming in. Let's see if Acor can get an opener this time. I think that would be the deciding factor. If he could get the opening kill in one of these rounds in that AWP duel, we might see Gambit crumble. It's going to be fast play out long. Rops is looking for it, but he is so blind, and so he'll catch a bullet in the face. He decided to pray that they wouldn't come out, and they decided to commit more into that fight, and more will die as a result. Rushing the beachhead that Gambit has established. Bodies are dropping left, right, and center. Axile wants to walk through this. This is insane, but he might catch the timing, and indeed he does. Acor down, another kill to their name, and Axile has denied control of long entirely. He's even going to get an op just to take it away from them. Just take it out of the hut, throw it away, and just nothing working for mousesports. All of their momentum from earlier has come to a shuddering halt, and they're being shut down at every turn by Gambit here in round 25.
Damn, okay. They had a 5-on-3 already, so there was just no reason to expect the re-aggression there through the long smoke from Axile. And yeah, you can see it was not expected at all by Mouse. Dexter, though, is alone. Can he get any more from it? And no, he only finds Hobbit in towards his Hobbit hole in the CT spawn. Nathany's there for the trade, and yeah, 1 casualty is not a big deal for Gambit. They don't have much money, so you'd prefer not to have anyone going down, but they are beginning to actually put a dent in the economy of mousesports themselves. And I think 1 more gun round could potentially do it for them to maybe even then have a shot at building up a free round off the back of an eco. So yeah, we're into the territory now where this has suddenly become a little bit of a sweaty position for mousesports, and they realize that. They get the pause in, they're trying to find out what's going wrong and, well, what they can switch up now coming into this gun round to try and confirm their victory here.
I do like this for Mouse, honestly, just to you know, take a little bit of time, sort things through, maybe come up with a new plan. We talked about how fresh of a team they are in terms of the leadership. So if Dexter has an idea of how he wants to bring this through, he can't just call out one phrase and everybody knows exactly what's going on. He might have to give some context, explain some things, talk about what he wants done. Maybe it's just a mental break. That could be it.
And if the players have an idea of what they're seeing and what could be done, it's also going to be something maybe they need to pause for them to give their input. Yeah, that works. Acor actually catches Shiro on the cross. Not the first time we've seen him hit that shot either, just the first time the kill actually came from it. Before it had just been the damage. Ross is just going to push straight through the smoke. No! There's a gap between the 2 of them. Inters finds him. And as you said, it was the knife in the hands of Rops, unfortunately, so he couldn't even really fight back. Did he get a knife, or was it a counter spam then? Yeah.
No, it was a knife.
Inter's down to 12. A left and a
He
right then it
knifed
must have been.
Inter's
Damn.
right in the chest as he died, knowing that he was done for with a knife out. If he had a gun, he probably actually gets that because he had first vision on Inters as he was coming out of this secondary smoke. That is all sorts of wild. I was going to comment how apparently the thing they decided in the tactical break was, hey, Acor, could you hit one of those cross shots? That would be very helpful. And it might just be the difference here, but losing Rops, that makes this tougher, Dean. I don't know. They're going to be taking long again. No, they're moving back towards the catwalk, having worked Acor in towards the pit. Now they come for the cat hit. That means responsibility is on Hobbit's shoulders, and he has shone in these moments before, but this is a big ask. Multiple players on the other side. About the boost. Smoke fades. He gets one, but instantly traded. That might not be good enough because now his teammate enters. Oh, no, never mind. Axile is alone on site. He's got to do so much, and he's going to try, but the flash is perfect. The kill is better. Now the platform has been lost. This bomb can go down, and the money never got healthy for Gambit, so we're already seeing them call the save. They'll get the double ops, they'll bail out, but they cannot contest this round. mousesports has found map point here in the first map, their opponent's map pick of this BO3.
Yeah, it did take them a little while, to be fair, to crack that 15-round mark. Will they be able to get that final round out to finish it off is the question. Well, the issue is for Gambit, despite having won actually a few rounds in a row, their money isn't too great. Even with these two ops being saved over, Axel can buy up for himself, but I'm not too sure what else is going to be dropped. Are they sitting slightly above the base 1400? I don't know if they'd won that many rounds in a row, to be fair, because they'd only won 3, right? They were on 8 initially. So I think they may just about have enough to get those rifles dropped over, hopefully, to the players who do need it. Because, of course, it needs to be 4 rounds in a row for Gambit if they want to take this to an overtime now and keep themselves in contention to actually win their own map choice. They do not want to be going on to Inferno already down by a map. And, well, yeah, that's why we're seeing the pause. They know the buy is going to come in, but they want to make sure it's everything that they need, and they want to make sure they know exactly what they're doing with it, too.
Just to give some additional context here, just based on where we are in the bracket, the winner of this series is in the main event. Makes it through to the group stage of IEM Katowice 2021 from this play-in event. Loser just moves down to the lower bracket. Let's give some context for what's on the line here on their own map pick for Gambit as they take the pause, as they decide what may be their final play call here on Dust2. Ooh, tension in the air here. Dean hangs in the balance. Double op is here. That's been so good for them. And I would like to give a shout out to Nafani. He was having a really tough game at the beginning. I think he was like 1-9 at one point, and he has really come alive for his team to be a big part of why they're in this game in the second half. It's been a difference maker. His scoreline alone isn't stellar when you look at it, but when you factor in the amount of impact he's had in the second half, it's been a big step up for the team. Speaking of the man, he wants to get aggressive in tunnels with that AWP. He's not quite going to push his luck, but if he did, he'd find it vacant. He'll back away. Found some utility damage, and now he pieces out. Meanwhile, mousesports, they've taken long, and they've taken so much of long. It's not even being contested. We got Axile way back towards the site. And aggression on Catwalk as mousesports have found long free for the taking. And now Rops finds ahead for the taking in mid. Lead a nade in turn, but that is very much worth the price of exchange. He'll continue to control this, try and corral this, and perhaps face off against Hobbit. Meanwhile, his teammates, they take the ground, they take the site, they're moving up forward. Utility down to cover their path, and on they move. Axile in for a world of hurt here, perhaps. He has to hold on. He has to find one. Can do no such thing. He mistakes his head. The trade is there, but the backstab is better, and Rops takes 2. Low health or no, he's identified the last player. He's tagged him as well. The bomb will be down, and now Inters has to find 3 to keep his team in this map. Has to try and save their bacon. He's making the move through 1v3. Acor holding on the angle, trying to rip his limbs from their sockets. And now Inters will attempt with the AWP to win a duel against too many targets. Down he goes, 16-11. The first map is claimed by mousesports, and they move ever closer to making their way in to the main